Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope everyone's having a great day. As for me, I'm doing great. Just got home, actually at the hotel right now. And my video is about getting out your comfort zone, which is I'm doing right now. So, getting out of comfort zone is really hard. I remember the first time I ever did it. If I'm being honest with you, was um, I was at Job Corps, and I was a very quiet person, and I didn't. I kind of kept a lot to myself for my own reasons. I just kept to myself. I always thought, if I just kept to myself. I figured if I keep to myself, then I won't get in trouble. And I was younger, I you know, used to get in trouble. And when I was in Job Corps, it was like my last chance to really make a change in my life. So when I went to Job Corps, I kept to myself for a while, and I was, but I knew I wanted to change my life around. So for me to change my life around, I knew that I had to do something I never thought I would do, or do something different. So I decided to um, run for president of the center. Why? I don't know. I just decided to do it. And well, if I would say honestly, I did it because I knew I just wanted to see if I could win. And also, two, I just wanted to see what would happen. And three, I knew I needed to get out of my comfort zone because it was just something I needed to do. I needed to do something different. So, that being said, um, I told my friend Felipe. He laughed about it. He laughed about it. And I told him I was serious, and he was like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "All right, well, I'll vote for you." And so, and he said he'll help me. So I ended up, took it serious, and so I started making like flyers and stuff, and start putting out flyers around the center. People were, it's not people I was gonna start, you know, take it for, I was gonna start running for president of the center. Why president of the center? Because I'd rather just go the highest. I want to go the highest. If I want to, this is me, and just want to see if I can win. So what happened was, I ended up go running, and I remember we had to make our speech, and after so long, I was nervous. I was really really nervous making a speech. I remember they had the song Queen, We Are the Champion, and I was walking up there, and I never talked in front of anybody before. Trust me, I was so nervous. I never talked in front of nobody before in my life. I'm proud of people, and so I remember walking up there, man, and it was. I remember walking up there. It was crazy. Um, my hands were sweaty, and I didn't know what I was gonna say. I knew I had a speech ready, and I wrote it down. But even if I had a speech ready, I didn't even know if I can read the speech. I was so nervous, and I went up there, and it was our turn. We were the last people that had to go meet this guy, and when it was my turn, I just went up there, and I looked at the speech. I tried to, I ain't gonna lie, man. I tried to read it. I was so nervous. I was so nervous. And I tried to read speech. I read some of it, and and I just went off on saying some stuff. Okay, honestly, I went off on saying like we're gonna change food. We're gonna change the food. I'm gonna try to change the food and try to change this and change that. And long story short, I got through it, and that was a trip. But I got through it, and everybody said I did good. I don't even know how I did good. I said, I look nervous. They said, you look a little nervous, but you did good. And I was like, oh, okay. So, um, got done, and results came in, and That guy I was running with, he was already part of the center for like 2 years. He was part of the whole like training camp for like police and but he won, which is fine. They say he only won by 5 points or high votes. So I was like, all right, whatever. I took it like whatever. So, and I ended up, they asked me if I want to stay on the center. I said, yeah, I want to stay on it. They want me still, I want to stay on the committee. And I said, yeah, I'll stay on it. And so I stayed on the committee just to kind of learn, still trying to learn, I was trying to, still change, trying to find just trying to change the way I was, do something different. And so I ended up going there and started going to the committees and committee meetings. And I ended up, so the guy that I ran against, he ended up leaving. I want to say he left probably like around a month later, a couple weeks, like probably like 2 weeks to a month later. I don't even know why he ran, but he took off. He left Job Corps. And a girl, I think her name was Veronica or Vanessa. She was a vice president of the Job Corps, and she ended up going to president. And that Sergeant Arms didn't want the vice president because he was supposed to go up next. He didn't go. He didn't want it. He wanted to stay where he was. So I ended up becoming vice president. She ended up leaving probably like a month later. Quick. I don't know why they went if they're gonna leave right away. They ended up leaving quick, and then I became president of the center. So moral of the story is this: you don't know what's gonna happen, and you don't know what's gonna happen, and unless you take that chance or at least you try to do something different for the better, for yourself, for your future, for your life, at least, or just to change for something better. But you don't know what's gonna happen. You have to ask yourself, what if? What if I did win? What if I do go for it? And the worst you can do is you don't win. You can probably stay on the committee like I did, or you move on with your life. At least you tried it. So I would say get some good people around you. If they laugh at you at first, Felipe. And but get some good people at first, because it's just good to have good people around you when you go. And if you don't have nobody around you, go by yourself. So but I had one good friend there. He went with me, and then I think after I ran there, I really learned to open up and learn to talk and learn to be more communicative. And yeah, but take a chance. You don't know what's gonna happen, and like I said, what if you do win? All right, you guys have a blessed day. I'm out. Peace.